Hey everyone, and welcome. Have you ever looked at a massive bridge or a giant wind turbine and wondered, how does a single person tighten a bolt that big? Well, it's not superhuman strength. It's actually some brilliant engineering. Today we're going to unlock the secret behind a tool that gives professionals honest-to-goodness mechanical superpowers, the torque multiplier wrench.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle the impossible turn. You know, the whole reason this tool even exists. Then, we'll pop the hood and see how it actually multiplies your strength. After that, we'll get into the big three benefits: power, precision, and safety. We'll look at where the pros are using this thing, and finally, I'll walk you through how to use it the right way.
So let's start with the impossible turn. Just imagine a bolt the size of your fist. Maybe it's rusted solid on some critical piece of heavy machinery. That's the kind of challenge we're talking about here. The need to apply an absolutely immense amount of rotational force.
Seriously, think about that for a second. This isn't like putting together some IKEA furniture. We're talking about forces that are way, way beyond what any person can generate with a normal wrench. We mean thousands of Newton meters. To put that in perspective, that's kind of like hanging a small car off the end of a 1-meter-long wrench. So how on earth do you do that without a ridiculously long lever arm, or, more importantly, without getting seriously hurt?
And the answer is this beautifully simple device, the torque multiplier wrench. It's a tool made specifically to amplify your force, turning what seems like an impossible job into something totally manageable and precise.
Okay, now for the really cool part. Let's get into the nitty-gritty and see what makes this tool so incredibly powerful. This is where the magic happens.
So, what's the secret sauce? It all comes down to a brilliant concept called planetary gearing. You can see it in action here. There's a central sun gear, a few planet gears that revolve around it, and it's all inside this outer ring gear. This setup is super compact, incredibly strong, and it's basically the engine of the whole tool.
And check this out. This is where it gets really amazing. With a pretty common gear ratio of 1 to 5, for every 100 Newton meters of force you put in with just a regular torque wrench, a massive 500 Newton meters comes out the other side. That is a 5 times increase in your own strength, just like that. No long cheater bars, no extra people helping, just you and the tool.
So let's break down the key parts. You've got the input drive, that's where you connect your wrench. You've got the planetary gear system, that's the heart of the whole operation. Then there's the output drive, which delivers all that power. And this is so important, you have the reaction arm. This piece braces against something solid to stop the tool from just spinning backwards. It's the anchor that makes the whole thing work.
So here's how it all comes together. 1, you apply your force to the input. 2, those planetary gears start their little dance, which slows down the rotation, but massively ramps up the force. 3, the reaction arm holds on tight, absorbing all that counterforce. And finally, 4, all that multiplied torque gets sent right where it needs to go, straight to the bolt. It's simple, but man is it powerful. Okay, so now that we know how it works, let's talk about why it's such a game changer. This isn't just about raw power, it's about combining that muscle with incredible precision and, maybe most importantly, safety. And look at the difference it makes. You're going from struggling and straining to having total control. You can ditch the clumsy, dangerous cheater bars. You stop stripping threads or snapping bolts because the force is so smooth and controlled. It means way less physical exhaustion for the operator, plus you can get into tight spots where a giant lever arm would never even fit.
It really just boils down to this. For any professional working in a demanding field, this thing isn't a luxury. It's an absolutely essential piece of gear for doing the job safely and getting it done right.
So, where is all this power actually being used? Let's take a look at the real-world industries where this tool isn't just nice to have, it's completely indispensable.
We are talking about the absolute backbone of our modern world, securing the lug nuts on a semi-truck, bolting together the steel skeleton of a skyscraper, working on critical pipelines on an oil rig, assembling the massive blades of a wind turbine. Basically, anywhere there's a connection that absolutely positively cannot fail, you're gonna find a torque multiplier. Of course, with great power comes great responsibility, right? A tool this strong needs to be handled correctly. So for this last section, let's get practical and talk about the best ways to use it and the different types you'll find out there. Yep, there's a multiplier for pretty much any job. The manual ones are your versatile, everyday workhorses. For the absolute biggest jobs, you've got hydraulic versions that deliver insane amounts of power. Pneumatic or air-powered ones are great for speed, like on a production line. And the digital models, they give you the ultimate precision, with electronic sensors for perfect accuracy and even data tracking.
And look, using it safely is everything. That reaction arm has to be braced against something solid that is not going to move. You can never, ever push the tool past its rated limits. You'll risk breaking it. And if you want real precision, the force you put in has to come from a properly calibrated torque wrench. Get these things right and you're good to go.
So, what started out as this seemingly impossible problem, how do you safely apply a ton of force, is solved with this incredible piece of engineering. It turns these Herculean tasks into routine procedures, giving mechanics and engineers the power to build and maintain our world with total confidence.
It's really just a testament to how clever mechanics can literally multiply our own strength. So if this has sparked your interest, and you're a professional who needs this kind of power in your toolkit, you can learn a lot more and check out the full lineup over on the Ferris Solution website. Thanks for geeking out with me on this one.